Hey, what's going on, guys? So in this video we're going to look at a couple different exercises and we're going to identify what muscle groups are used, and we're going to also look at some of the correct movement patterns and movement faults associated with each lift. So first we're going to look at the squat. The squat focuses on using the glutes, hamstrings, quads, and abdominals to take the hip, knee, and ankle through their full range of motion. It's basically getting into a baseball catcher's position. So right out of the gate, one of the big movement faults that we usually see in a squat is that the knees will rotate inward. This puts a lot of stress on the knee and can eventually lead to injury. As we rotate to the lateral view, we can see that the neck is tilted upward. This causes the client to lose neutral spine and can also put a lot of unnecessary force on the lower back. In order to fix some of these faults, the client should keep their knees shoulder width apart and only use a weight that is safe enough to keep their knees from buckling in. In addition to the knees, the neck should be kept in a position that keeps the spine completely straight. So now we're going to take a look at the dumbbell shoulder press. This is primarily a chest exercise that also uses the triceps and shoulders to stabilize the movement. It has a lot of the same characteristics as a push-up. Some of the typical movement faults associated with this lift is that the client will arch their back off the bench and get on their tiptoes. In addition to these, we are working with a throwing athlete, so he has a lot of muscle imbalances that will make one side ultimately stronger. In order to fix these faults, the client should engage their abdominals to press their back flat against the bench. This will also help to keep their feet flat on the ground as well. Moving on to the dumbbell row, this exercise emphasizes the muscles in the back, specifically the trapezius, rhomboids, and latissimus dorsi. Because there's flexion at the elbow, the bicep will be worked as well. As the name implies, this exercise mimics rowing a boat. Some of the main faults that you typically see in this row is that people simply get too much weight and do not go through the full range of motion. Many people, like our athlete here, also start with their shoulders slanted and their neck tilted up, as you can see from the anterior and lateral views. In order to fix these faults, the client should get a sufficient amount of weight to allow for more shoulder extension. They should also keep their shoulders parallel with each other and their head looking down in order to achieve a more neutral spine. As we look at the vertical shoulder press, this exercise focuses mainly on the deltoid muscle group and a little bit of the traps. The basic movement is the same as lifting something over your head. This lift has a lot of the same typical movement faults that you would see in a bench press. The back will arch up, the client will get on their toes, and muscular imbalances will cause them to lift unevenly, as we can see in our throwing athlete. Instead of just laying against the back of the bench, the client should use their abdominals to help keep the body up. Keeping a neutral spine, they should drop the weights down until the elbows are about 90 degrees flexed. When the abs are engaged and the back is off the bench, this will help keep the feet flat on the ground and help make the movement more stable as well. One of the more challenging exercises is the pull-up. This exercise focuses on mainly using the latissimus dorsi and the biceps to pull the entire body up until the bar is about even with the chin. The movement faults that are most common in this exercise are that the feet will be kept behind the body, which compromises neutral spine. Many people also kick their feet out and exhibit a lot of hip rotation to help get their body up as well. Instead of letting the feet drag behind the body, the abs and hips should be engaged to help keep the legs forward and the spine straight. If the client cannot do a proper pull-up, a lat pull-down or assisted pull-up machine would be more practical to target this muscle group. I hope this video helped to illustrate common flaws in these 5 exercises so that you can help better your form in the gym and in everyday life. Thanks for watching.